Let's move on out of this topic and let's talk about film. And here in South Florida, one of the largest LGBT film festivals in the world is getting ready to begin. It is called the OUTshine Film Festival. We always joke that we are broadcasting here from the gayest place on planet Earth, all over the United States, but really all over the world. And tonight, we have made a very significant commitment in promoting the OUTshine Film Festival from Happening Out Television Network. All of our platforms, including this one, Gay Town Hall and Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out, is supporting it. We're supporting it because at no time in history has LGBT not-for-profits been under greater challenge than in 2020 because of COVID. And how do you have a film festival that is designed to interact with each other in 2020 when there is COVID? What you do is you reinvent yourself. And OUTshine Film Festival is a magnificent example of what is occurring in going completely online. Over the next 10 days, 40 films are going to be displayed. They're having record sales at OUTshine Film Festival as a result of it. And tonight we want to introduce you to two individuals that are very unique to us. One of the films that are being broadcast in the OUTshine Film Festival, and we're very happy because we're getting ready to go to Rio de Janeiro, and we're going to Rio de Janeiro live. We are introducing you now the director of a film that is in the OUTshine Film Festival called Dry Wind, and the director's name is Daniel Nolasco. And he speaks Portuguese, and we have his translator with him, Adam Fischler, who is going to help us in terms of talking about OUTshine and the film Dry Wind. So Daniel coming and Adam coming from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, welcome to Gay Town Hall.
Thank you.
And exactly. All right. So OUTshine Film Festival, Adam's going to help us. We're going to have a little bit of delay because Daniel's speaking Portuguese. But tell us, Daniel, a little bit about what Dry Wind is about. It's an interesting theme of this LGBTQ film. Tell us a little about what it is about.
Entendi, Ana.
Tá bom.
Ah, tá. Então, o Vento Seco ele é um filme de ficção, ele é um melodrama erótico que narra a história do Sandro, que mora numa pequena cidade no interior do Brasil chamada Catalão, que fica bem no centro-oeste brasileiro. E ele vai contar a história desse personagem, da rotina dele, como a vida dele se muda completamente com a chegada de um outro personagem, que é o Maicon, que ele se interessa e vai se relacionar com ele e com outros personagens do filme.
Well, I'm gonna try to sum up. It's a movie. It's kind of a melodrama, and it's about this character named Sandro, who lives in a city named Catalão in Goiás. It's a state in Brazil. And it's about change. It's about the changes that he faces when he meets a new guy in this very small city. It's something like that.
Did I understand in terms of the plot of the movie that one basically, by American understanding, identifies in the leather community and one identifies in the bear community? Did I get that correct?
O filme ele é um filme bastante erótico, né? E ele tem um diálogo estético muito forte com tanto a estética fetichista do BDSM quanto do leather, né? Ele está bem inserido dentro desse universo estético.
Yes, that's correct. It's a very erotic movie, and it conversates with the BDSM and the leather community. In many levels.
Well, we have several hosts, including America's host and probably elimination that they set up straight right away, hearing the theme of the movie. I also read that both of them, David's going someplace. I also read that that the film is very sexual in its orientation. That it is very out there in terms of its sexuality. Is that correct?
Já.
Ele tá perguntando se o filme. Que ele ouviu dizer que o filme é muito sensual, muito sexual, muito na cara.
A gente pode dizer que o filme tem explícito, né? Ele tem essa questão de tratar a questão da cena de sexo de forma muito direta, né? Dependendo da concepção do que a pessoa acha que é explícito, é um filme explícito. Sexo explícito.
Daniel's telling me that it all depends on the viewer. You know, if the viewer is not used to seeing an amount of sex on TV or movies, they're gonna think it's very explicit. But if they are kind of used to it, it's not gonna be so explicit. So it depends on who's watching it.
I'm curious, thank you for that clarification. I'm curious Daniel, tell us about why you would direct a film like this and why an LGBTQ film festival like here in South Florida that is broadcasting to the nation this year in COVID, being digital online. Why is a film festival important to you as a director?
Não entendi, né?
Ele está perguntando por que um festival nos Estados Unidos é importante para você como diretor.
Bom, eu acho que o festival tem esse negócio que são historicamente, né, espaços de divulgação, né, de debate sobre o cinema, né, se a gente for pensar sobre as transformações que o cinema LGBT passou nos últimos 30 anos, ele está muito ligado com a popularidade dos festivais de temática LGBT. E os Estados Unidos sempre foi uma referência, né, sobre o cinema LGBT. Se a gente pegar, por exemplo, que o New Queer Cinema, que é um movimento dos Estados Unidos e do Canadá, né, que é um movimento que basicamente transformou bastante todas as discussões relacionadas ao cinema LGBT. Então, a importância está muito nisso, né, que é um epicentro de debate sobre as questões LGBTs no cinema.
Como é o nome do movimento, Dani? Desculpa.
New Queer Cinema.
New Queer?
Cinema.
Okay. Daniel was telling that festivals have always been very important places for the LGBTQ community for reasons like it's always a place that people can talk about it. And he also mentions a movement, it's New Queer Cinema, and it's very important for this community, and the United States represented like worldwide in that sense that there are so many LGBTQ festivals in your country. I don't know if I made myself very clear.
Yes, you did. We understood. Daniel, I want to discuss a moment Brazil. Specifically in the LGBT community in Brazil. There are 3 places in the world that are considered, Daniel, by the way, Daniel and Adam have just sat through our conversation about the Democratic National Convention and the LGBTQ's embracement this week, the greatest in history probably in the United States. If there are 3 places in the world that we are seeing the same kinds of things like we're seeing from our president in the United States, we are also seeing from your president in Brazil and the president of Russia, Trump. Frequently in the LGBT community, I read op-eds that call them the axis of evil to the LGBT community. What's your reaction of how your president in Brazil is reacting to the LGBTQ community, and how does that affect you as a filmmaker in LGBTQ cinema?
Entendi. Eu acho que né, a gente tem que explicar que o Brasil não se tornou um país LGBTfóbico como o Bolsonaro, ele sempre foi, né? E que o que aconteceu é que com Bolsonaro houve uma certa oficialização, né, dessa perseguição à comunidade LGBT por causa do que está no discurso dele, né? E essa coisa, né, basicamente quem trabalha com cinema LGBT ou outros artistas LGBT no Brasil, né, Bolsonaro declarou desde o começo, ao longo de toda a campanha, e depois colocou isso em forma prática, essa perseguição ideológica mesmo nesses temas, tanto que aconteceu de forma, né, real quando ele censurou alguns editais, assim, né? Então ele tem uma, né, plataforma, digamos assim, da campanha dele, e ele é notoriamente homofóbico durante toda a vida política dele, que já tem mais de 30 anos.
Daniel is saying that that Bolsonaro didn't bring the LGBTQ phobia to Brazil. It was always there. What he did was that he helped it come out, you know, like people who would not say things like that to other people, they found they like validated to say whatever they wanted to say, because the president of the country would allow them to say that. So he did a lot of things for bad things for the cinema, like we had like many funds that would give money to make cinema, you know, and he kind of killed that. So it's very difficult to make cinema, not only LGBTQ cinema, but cinema in Brazil right now, it's very difficult.
LGBTQ America, I would just draw your attention to the answer that you just heard in Portuguese about what the president of Brazil did. He didn't cause homophobia, he capitalized on it. And we could replace his name with Donald Trump and replace his name with Vladimir Putin, the axis of evil. It's very interesting. Daniel, one final question of asking you about being a filmmaker in Brazil. What does the Brazilian LGBTQ community impression about the American LGBT community? What do Brazilians think, both men and women, in your community?
O que a comunidade LGBT no Brasil pensa da comunidade LGBT deles?
Bom, a gente acha que você é progressista, né? Eu acho que tem uma questão que, né, a gente tem uma certa noção, eu não sei se é real ou não, mas que é uma comunidade que várias pautas de diversidade, né, de todas as questões, está mais bem estruturada lá do que aqui no Brasil, né? Parece que a gente está chegando no momento agora aqui no Brasil que a gente está começando a entender que existe uma gama gigantesca de pautas, né? E que parece que lá nos Estados Unidos isso parece que a comunidade LGBT lá tem mais consciência disso do que há mais tempo, né?
Okay. He says that the community in the United States, it seems to us that it's more aware of many topics that we are now beginning to talk about in Brazil. Like maybe we were just focused on just a few topics, and now we are talking about many other things that we weren't talking before, and we have the sense that you were talking about it for so many years since Stonewall, maybe.
Yes, and Adam, please express to Daniel, perhaps in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, they need a Brazilian gay town hall.
Mm-hmm. And
wait,
real quick, Adam and Daniel.
Wait. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. We have a question from Richard Hubley. He's asking, does the film have English subtitles?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, it does.
And definite yes. And my last observation on Brazil. One of the things interesting to me here is we have so much commonality with Brazilians that perhaps LGBT America didn't know until this conversation, and it's brought to us from film. Film and the arts help us learn that, which is why we support LGBTQ film festivals. There's approximately 20 still operating around the United States. If one is operating near you, and now in 2020 you can do it digitally, you need to support them. It is the best way to support our not-for-profit queer culture in film. And one of the largest in the world is beginning tonight, the OUTshine Film Festival here in South Florida, but you can see more than 40 incredible films just like this one called Dry Wind. From Brazil. Last thing I have to say to you, Daniel, and I speak on behalf, please be, I apologize for being presumptuous, but I speak on behalf of the host here at Gay Town Hall, and Adam, you translate for him later. We send our salute from the American LGBT community to the Brazilian LGBT community. We know, you told us what you think about the American community. We'll tell you what we think about the Brazilian community. When I saw that Dry Wind came from Brazil, I went, I was interested immediately. We've heard about the women of Ipanema. And of course, we know about Brazilian men and every possible inclination of what that means.
Yes, God.
Right. So Daniel Nolasco, director of Dry Wind, and Adam Fischler, from both coming from Rio de Janeiro, we thank you very much, and we encourage you, America. OUTshine Film Festival online. You can participate, and there's never been a greater need for you to support our LGBT not-for-profit organizations, especially in LGBT film. Adam, Daniel, thank you for being with Gay Town Hall tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.